And we're back. This is episode 3 of the Madness at the Darkmoon Faire card review. It's currently November 5th, and we will also be reviewing in this video the cards that will be coming out tomorrow on the 6th. But we're going to be reviewing from Stilt Stepper all the way to Ringmaster's Baton, and then tomorrow we'll carry off with we'll carry on with Balloon Merchant and on. This time, Warrior has gotten quite a few cards. They've gotten 3 cards. So Warrior has gotten 3 out of their 8 cards released. So we have an idea of where Warrior's going, but not really. Paladin has been more fleshed out with, well, 2 cards. And yeah, nothing else has been, no other class has really been filled out. But yeah, this is the second day in a row we're recording. So Taco, did you miss me?
Yeah, a little bit.
You did?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. Damn. Well, anyway, whatever. Yeah, let's just get right into the cards. There's some cool stuff today. I think this day of cards is really, really strong, especially since we're starting with Ringmaster Watley, a 5-mana, 3/5 warrior legendary, with Battlecry, draw a mech, dragon, and pirate. Now, that's 3 cards. This is a 5-mana draw 3, which is up, like, if we look at Arcane Intellect, 3-mana draw 2, and Sprint, 7-mana draw 4, 5-mana draw 3 is pretty, like, fair. It's like a fair thing to do. But also, this comes with a 3/5 body. So this is a 3/5, which is about what, like 3 mana in stats, as well as draw 3. This card is so powerful in what it does, but I just have to give it 4 stars, personally. Actually, okay, it's 4 stars, but let's go through like each of these, like Mech, Dragon, and Pirate. Like, what can Warrior run, right, in these? Yeah, the Pirate's easy, like, you know, Risky Skipper. This is something that Warrior's tutoring for right now with Ankar. Risky Skipper is one of the strongest Warrior cards right now. Deathwing is the dragon I have to be tutored. Where's Deathwing? I mean, it's 8 mana. So Deathwing, this is something that every Warrior runs right now. It's really good in Control Warrior. It's really good in Bomb Warrior. It's really good in, like, even a Temple Warrior as an endgame finisher. Yeah, you're definitely looking to tutor Deathwing. And the mech is where we're a little lost. You see 2 Morderns here. It's a little too bad of a mech. We've got Scrap Golem is actually the mech I was thinking of tutoring. For most Warriors, it's got Taunt, and the other one was Omega Devastator, which is here. Yeah, so this is a very end game mech. So not really. I don't think any Warrior that isn't a Control Warrior will want to tutor for this. But yeah, this Menagerie idea. Are we talking about N'Zoth Warrior? What do we think about that?
N'Zoth Warrior? It can be a thing. I just think that if you're doing N'Zoth Warrior, the Pirates is a little bit weak. I don't know if this will go.
The Pirate is Risky Skipper.
Yeah, but that's not something you want to res.
Well, the turn you're playing it, you're just going to be playing N'Zoth, right? It's 10 mana. So it's okay, because if it's bad, if the Skipper is bad for you, you can just trade it off next turn. Otherwise, you're slamming them with a Deathwing.
Yeah, but also Deathwing as well, right? It's not really something you want. Like, it's nice to have in your hand. Oh wait, sorry, that's a res. It doesn't go to your hand. Yeah.
It's a res.
I was thinking, like, yeah, I agree. Like, I gave this 4 stars as well. But I'm actually thinking, like, not in the context of N'Zoth Warrior. Like, this doesn't have to draw 3. If this thing drew 2 cards,
yeah,
and the 2 cards were Deathwing and Risky Skipper, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, I was trying to force the mech, but you really don't have to do that. Like Curator, this is just like Curator from back in the day.
This is a little bit weaker than Curator because it doesn't have Taunt.
But I don't actually agree with that. I think this is stronger than Curator because it costs less mana. Yeah.
Curator
is 7 mana. It's 7 mana 4/6. It tutored for a Murloc, Dragon, and Beast back in the day. And it was a 7 mana Taunt. So yes, Taunt is a strong keyword.
Dragon, Beast.
But this is cheaper by 2 full mana. You can get this out really early, and it has reasonable stats. Like -1/-1 from the Curator. And you still draw like 2 or 3 cards. This is like it's a really strong card. Like, this card will definitely see play, if not in the next expansion, sometime during its standard lifetime. It just will.
Yeah.
There's no way this card won't see play with N'Zoth being in the same set as it. Like during some expansion, Warrior is going to do a N'Zoth with this card for sure, guaranteed. It might not be the next one. I think it might has potential, like some kind of Tempo Warrior with like a N'Zoth endgame. But yeah, we'll see. I'm really happy to see this card. This card is insane to me. Like the draw 3 is just such a strong thing. This is really good for tempo decks because tempo decks really love to develop their hand. Because if they put enough threats on the board, you can do something where you develop things that are not on the board, like maybe a weapon or something for your hand to develop your hand. And this is really good at developing your hand. It's amazing for developing your hand actually. Yeah, so maybe Enrage Warrior looks to this as well. I'm not too sure if they would want to think about this, but hey, definitely a strong card, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think we've kind of touched everything. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, I just want to emphasize that it doesn't have to draw all 3. Like, yeah, if it just draws 2, it's pretty good.
One last touch I want to make is control. This looks Control Warrior is just not going to happen, right? Can we agree on that?
Control Warrior. I mean, the mech that you pulled out is pretty good.
As soon as it happens, though, as soon as Control Warrior happens, every single priest is going to run Galakron, and Control Warrior. That matchup for Control Warrior is like a 10%.
Control Warrior, probably. Yeah,
it's something obscenely bad, right?
Yeah, I don't think this solves any Control Warrior problems.
Yeah. So yeah, this is not Control Warrior. This is we're looking at some kind of Tempo Warrior for this thing, or like some kind of mid-range warrior with like an old god as a finisher. Of course, N'Zoth is the first one you should be thinking of. Yeah. Other than that, nothing really uses this, and that's why I give it 4 stars because it's going to be meta dependent. I think if Priest just ends up sucking, then this will be amazing for Control Warrior. Yeah. But I don't see Priest sucking. Sure. So yeah, next card. Next card is the Ringmaster Watley's Baton. It's a Ringmaster's Baton. It's the 2-mana warrior weapon. It's a 2-mana 1/3 weapon. After your hero attacks, give a mech, dragon, and pirate in your hand +1/+1. So that's all 3 of the same types as Watley. Yeah, take this.
Well, a 2-mana 1/3 weapon isn't great, and Warrior doesn't really have card generation or card draw besides Watley to be able to consistently get some kind of buff. And we talked about hand buff in the previous podcast. It's just isn't a mechanic that works. So I'm giving Ringmaster Baton just 1 star. I really don't think this will see any play.
I'm flip flopping on this. I was thinking 1 or maybe 2 stars. I think I'm going to settle actually right now on 2 stars for this. Even though I told you right before we started recording that I was changing it to 1. I'm going to settle on 2 stars because I think what this needs is it just needs card draw, right? So that's what we're looking for, card draw. Is there card draw that's happening in Warrior? Yeah. Warrior currently runs a Risky Skipper and Rage package with Battle Rage sometimes, right? Like there are some Warriors that do this, and this is just a really, really strong cycling engine. And the biggest problem with Ringmaster's Baton isn't that you won't have card draw for the hand buffing stuff to happen. That's going to happen. But what's the biggest problem with it right now is that it's a weapon. And Warriors really love other weapons. Like Ankar is just a part of a lot of Warriors right now to tutor for the Risky Skippers. Bulwark of Azzinoth is actually a part of Warriors right now that are doing Control Warrior things. Where's Reaper Scythe? I mean, we just passed by Livewire Lance. Like, this is actually a strong weapon for Warriors with Risky Skipper. This Lackey for Warriors is really important. And where's Reaper Scythe? There it is. I completely forgot Wrench Caliber. Yeah, Reaper Scythe is all Control Warrior. Like, Wrench Caliber is all Bomb Warrior. Like, no Warriors are not running weapons that are core to their playstyle right now. So that's what Ringmaster's Baton has to fight with. And its stat line as a 1/3 weapon is just not good. So yeah, I'm settling for 2 stars.
Sure. Yeah, I just want to go over like the card draw. Like there is card draw in Cycling and Warrior, but it's like it's a package that uses up cards in your deck that you might not be able to. Either it will make the draw engine less consistent, or it means that you're less, or it means like you just don't have space. I feel like to run.
So what you're saying is
Battle Rage and Skipper.
What you're saying is it's going to draw the cards that you're trying to tutor for.
Yeah,
which is fine.
You want to get to those cards, and then I just don't see that type of deck working.
Yeah,
just
we.
for
I
the
mean,
+1/+1 buff.
again, we're having we did have a problem with Watley and fitting in a good mech. So this mech
Mhm.
tag isn't actually too relevant right now, and I guess we're hoping to see a good mech coming out of the other 5 warrior cards that we might get
Yep.
revealed.
Yeah, like
But yeah,
also the
currently
dragon can
this
be very
is.
interesting.
Say again.
Oh, I was gonna say like the dragon can be very interesting because there is the dragon lackey. Like you might get
Oh,
dragons
you
in your
can
hand.
make a dragon with the
You
live
can make
wire lines.
dragons, yeah. Which
Yeah,
is
I
why
don't.
I
I
was
feel like I
kind of
just
high
want
on like card
Deathwing.
generation. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
also
this
Deathwing.
is really low impact right now. Really not looking forward to
Mhm.
running this. This is just an understated weapon with a very slow mechanic. I mean, control warrior is slow, right? So this could see play in control warrior where you're just looking. But I don't know. Control warrior never really relied on stats. It
Controller.
really relied on
Yeah,
grinding your opponent out. So yeah, we'll see
right.
about this. I'm not too sold though. So yeah, let's move on.
All right.
Yeah, next card is the other warrior legendary, ETC, God of Metal. Yes, that is the full name. It's a 2-mana 1/4. This is a callback to Elite Torn Chieftain, which was a 5-mana 5/5. I'm really weird. I'm really weirded out why this is a 2-mana 1/4, but it's a 2-mana 1/4 warrior legendary with the text: after a friendly rush minion attacks, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. Now, I've been flip flopping all day on this, and it's ranged from 2 stars all the way to 4 stars, but
Oh
I'm
wow.
settling back on 2 stars. I do not think that this is a good card, and the reason why is because this is an aggressive. The text here is very aggressive, right? Um, and there are no real aggressive warriors happening right now. And yes, I did think about Galakron warrior and just using the hero power and just kind of like just smorking your opponent down, just keep hitting them in the face with 3 damage over and over again. It's got like good rushers. I mean, okay, yeah, let's look up the warrior rushers. Whoops. Yeah, the warrior rushers. We actually have some pretty good ones with when you're talking about Galakron deck, like a full blown Galakron warrior deck with Scion of Ruin, and I'm assuming you could be running Krasinov in there. You could be running like Athletic Studies in there to look for more rushes. Blood Boil Brute is gonna look pretty good in that deck too, because you could be doing a skipper package with Blood Boil Brute. But like all of this was just too. It's too reminiscent of the Galakron Warrior, which we had in Descent of Dragons, which needed Acolyte of Pain in order to draw cards, and we just don't have it. It was using both Acolyte of Pain as well as Battle Rage, so we are missing part of the card draw engine that made that deck strong, and we don't have anything to replace it with.
Yeah, I completely agree. I gave this 2 stars as well. I do see some potential with Broomstick because it makes everything on your board
Right.
rush.
Yeah.
You can potentially burst some damage there. I just can't like imagine that something like that being good.
Yeah, that's
In
actually a good
terms
point.
of decks, yeah, in terms of decks that we have today, we got Enraged Warrior. It summons Blood Boil Brutes. That's a tongue twister. Sometimes there's 0 mana. But even then, are you really playing ETC in that deck just to get that extra 2? It could be meaningful because that deck does have the potential to burst down the opponent with Bloodsworn Mercenary. Like, there might be something there. So I didn't give it a complete 1.
Yeah, this is a good stat line, that's for sure. This is a Hanar stat line.
It's an Armor Smith.
It's an Armor Smith. Armor Smith, Hanar, they all have really strong like staying power on the board if you just kind of throw them out at 2 mana. The last thing I want to say about this and why I think it's just bad is that rush is a really good comeback mechanic, right? And the like how you do damage with a deck that's focused around rush is you rush your minion in and it has to survive and do a value trade. And so your minion not only did the strong rush thing that it's known for, but also it's there threatening to hit the opponent's face again next turn, right? And if we look at the warrior rushers right now, like these guys have such low health, it's so unlikely for them to value trade. This is a 4/4 under conditions, and this is a bunch of 3/2s which don't really stick too easily. This is just a 3/2. Blood Boil Brute is one of your best rushers, but yeah, he's like a really end game kind of rush. Yeah, I mean rushers in general just have had low health across Hearthstone's history, like good rushers, not like Hippogriff or something. Yeah, so
Oh.
like this deck is it's too mushed up in terms of what it wants to do. Like a full rush deck is too mushed up in what it wants to do. Does it want to come back or does it want to stay on board and push forward? Like if you're staying on board, do you really need ETC to really do that damage? Like you could just be hitting them in the face with the stuff that you put on the board, right? So ETC is I think two win more. That's what I wanted to say. It's two win more of an idea. Okay, next card is Stilt Stepper. For it is a 3-mana Demon Hunter card. It's a 3-mana 4/1 with Battle Cry. Draw a card, and if you play the card you just drew this turn, to give your hero +4 attack for this turn.
All right, I can feel the pitchforks coming on this one.
There's pitchforks. What do you think?
I can feel them coming. All right, so Stilt Stepper, right? So we have a card like this. It's Mana Feeder Panthara. Star rating. I'm gonna give it 2 stars.
Ooh, oh no!
I feel them coming. So
no,
we have a card.
Pitchfork. I have a pitchfork.
We have Mana Feeder Panthara, which is like the obvious replacement of where this would go, right? For 2 mana, you pay for the hero power. You get a 2/3. You get a Riverdale Crocodilus, and you draw a card. So it seems like a worse Stilt Stepper in every way, except Panthara costs 2 mana.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I gave this 2 stars is because I believe that in the current Soul Demon Hunter deck, this isn't better than anything that already exists. And I could be wrong about that, but I just don't think this is better than anything. The stat line itself isn't great. It's 3 mana 4/1, which is actually kind of good because you want heavy attack in this deck, right? You want your opponent like trading their face into it if they're that type of deck, but it's also kind of fragile. Where it's not that sticky, it's pretty easy to remove, and there are classes that can remove this pretty easily.
It does, yeah.
The +4 attack I don't feel like is that impactful because you have to play that turn, which means that it's no longer a 3 mana card. And Panthara is just better because like a lot of things that I realize people don't do is that they don't play Panthara on 2. They're too scared to play Panthara on 2 when like a lot of times it just is the right play to do. Just get stuff on the board early, which is how Demon Hunter getting that early ship damage. It really means a lot. And so yeah, this is just the worst Panthara. It's not better than Waymaker. So
it's better than Panthara. I think it's better than Panthara.
I just don't think it sees play.
This is a 4-star card for me. There's a lot of reasons why I just disagree with you. I think it is actually better than Panthara, but I also think you forgot to think about what Aggro Demon Hunter does. The lower curving list, which is just topping off at Skull, and has a reader in it where it's just trying to mark your opponent down as fast as possible from an aggressive standpoint. This is such a powerful card for that list because it already curves so low that you just kind of throw this out on like 4 or 5 mana and you could probably just play whatever you just top decked and you get that 4 damage. And if you can get that 4 damage, this card is so insane. It is so powerful because it essentially gives like this card charge. And what do you think about a 3 mana 4/1 that drew you a card and also has charge?
Well, it's not 3 mana though, right? Because the card that comes after, I guess in a low curve, it might be easier to do. Like you have to be able to play that card, and you have to want to play that.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. But like, you're heavily incentivized to play that card, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're playing that card anyway, this is still a 3 mana 4/1 with charge.
Sure.
Right. So this, like, how do you feel about a 3 mana 4/1 with charge? It feels great, right? That's insane. It also drew you a card, by the way. It also drew you a card.
It's good in that context, but
this is not just
this is something though. But I think that's maybe I'm looking too heavily into Soul Demon Hunter. It just hard counters the existence of like a lot of things that Demon Hunter can do.
Yeah,
just because of that burst ceiling that it has.
Yeah,
so,
Soul Demon Hunter. Here's the problem with Soul Demon Hunter. It's so powerful right now, and they're printing more and more support for it with Il'gynoth, and now Stilt Stepper is actually some support for it as well. If you think about it, if you think it's good enough, but like it's just so good at just wiping all in aggro, like it's Aggro Demon Hunter Brother or like Face Hunter or stuff like that. So it's hard to say that this is going to see play because of Aggro Demon Hunter, because Soul Demon Hunter is actually what's going to like kill Aggro Demon Hunter. And Soul Demon Hunter looks to still be strong next expansion. So so let me move back to Soul Demon Hunter. Like, is this a good card in Soul Demon Hunter? I think yes. It's just the exact, like, I think this is the exact replacement for Panthara. You play this in the later stage of the game. You still, you could just draw a card. Like, Panthara is actually not played as a 2/3. It's played to draw a card. It is, yeah. It's a body, and so is this, right?
If for budget,
Ignore the budget
I don't know.
Like,
I still think
this-
that Pantara is
is-
just better.
Is this contending with Panthara? Yes, it is, right?
It's
Like, you can't
contending with
say it's not.
Pantara. Yeah,
Say
it is definitely. It's definitely contending with Pantara.
Yeah, yeah.
If this goes into the deck, Pantara probably comes out. Maybe
If-
something else comes out as well.
So
I'm
really,
not
what I'm
sure.
trying, what I'm trying to get you to say is, if Demon Hunter ever needs more burst, this is going to see play, and Panthara is not.
If it ever needs to see more bursts, yes.
And this is so much synergy with Soul Demon Hunter right now. Like Blade Dance, is just going to be so insane with this, right?
Yeah, but getting that Blade Dance out synergy is actually kind of hard because you're paying 3 mana, and then whatever
Right,
mana
and
that
playing
thing
the
is
top
on top of the
then
Blade Dance. Like it, I don't think it's great Blade Dance synergy.
It's still something, right?
lucky.
It's still something you
Yeah.
can do. Yeah,
Yeah,
but okay. Let's move past this card.
Okay.
You said 2 stars. I say 4. I think this has a lot of potential. If not
Sure.
in Soul Demon Hunter, then at least in Aggro Demon Hunter.
Definitely an aggro demon.
This
Hunter.
could. I mean, we're
agree
still
with
in
that.
phase 1, so we're still like these star ratings are more predictions for like potential rather than actually what it's going to be. Like this could easily become a 2-star card in phase 2. Like we'll see.
Yeah, it could also be a 5-star card in phase 2.
It could also be a 5-star card in phase 2 if we see some insane stuff with this. But the next card we are going to be talking about is Wicked Whispers. This is my card of today, of this set of cards.
I had a feeling you choose that one.
I've chosen this card, and Taco knows exactly why, and I'm going to tell you, and Taco's going to be like, "Yep, that's why." So I have given this card Wicked. Oh, let me actually tell you what the card does first. It's Wicked Whispers, and it's a 1-mana Warlock card. Discard your lowest cost card. Give your minions +1/+1. Yes, give your minions +1/+1 for Warlock. This is a 5-star card, in my opinion, and the reason why it's a 5-star card is I have to remind you of the 5-star definition again. It's for phase 1, which is if the class sees play, this card will be in that class, right? So we're saying if Zoo Warlock is going to be good, this card will be in Zoo Warlock. Can you agree on that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I
So this
agree.
is a 5-star card by that definition. Now I don't actually know if Zoo Warlock will be good. It actually looks like it won't be good for now. So this card could easily fall of quite a few stars in the next phase. But this is going to be definitely included in Zoo Warlock, and the reason why is because Zoo Warlock currently, Zoo Warlock currently has no way to make its tokens very threatening. So I'm talking about the tokens from Galakron, more than the Dark Glare Zoo Warlock idea, which both of them are really horrible. But this is the same thing I was talking about yesterday. This is the same deck I was talking about yesterday, which I flashed on screen, which just had a bunch of tokens that just were ignored by my opponents, and now if they ignore it, I'm gonna hit them with this +1/+1 buff, and I'm gonna hit them in the face, and that's gonna be so great. So people can no longer ignore your tokens. They can't ignore your Flame Imp. They can't ignore your Voidwalker. They have to clear your tokens, and if they don't, you can hit them with the Wicked Whispers, right? The downside here is not a downside. Zoo Warlock has never cared about discarding cards. They've run Soulfire in every single iteration of Zoo Warlock ever. They've run Doomguard in every single iteration of Zoo Warlock ever. And yes, those cards are finishers, but they've just been played sometimes, like in terms of Doomguard. So yeah, this is, and not even that, like, this has an upside. We have an egg currently, which Warlock actually wants to discard. It's a 2-mana egg. Where is it? Bone Web. Yeah, Bone Web Egg, which summons two ones if it's discarded. So there's some inherent synergy that's been printed in Skullman's Academy for it, and yeah, I'm excited to see whether this goes anywhere or not. Yeah, that's my monologue. Take it.
Yeah, I think you kind of changed my evaluation to a 5-star just because of the premise that if Zoo is good, this will definitely see play.
We have to.
I just don't think Zoo is. I don't think Zoo is going to see play, and I think this rating is definitely going to change.
Yeah.
But since we're in phase 1, it's 5 stars.
It's 5 stars by definition of phase 1, but I'm going to be very sad to change it when we enter phase 2, but it's probably going to lower. Mm-hmm.
This is like potentially a better Grim Rally, and Grim Rally did carry Galakron Zoo.
Mm-hmm. You mean Warlock?
For a while, or Galakron Warlock Zoo.
Yep. This is I forgot to make that comparison to Grim Rally, but this is totally Grim Rally.
That was a good card. This is potentially better, or at least the same power level, because Maybe you didn't want to discard your card.
Oh my god, this is Grim Rally. That's so beautiful. Grim Rally's so good. It was so good in those Warlocks, and Grim Rally did actually something worse than its cost was, in my opinion, at least worse than this one. When you made a board with Grim, like when you made a board and then you had to kill one of your minions for Grim Rally, that was really sad because like you are also destroying the board that you worked hard to put together, which is what Zoo cares about more. They care about the board more than their hand. And especially now when Zoo has been given the Hand of Gul'dan draw engine, we really don't care about our hand because we can just refill it so quickly with this Hand of Gul'dan and expired merchant stuff. So yeah, of course, this would have been much better if it was discard your highest cost card. But let's not lament what it could have been, and let's just see what it is. And what it is really really strong. This card is a strong card. This is obviously powerful in a Zoo Warlock, but yeah, we're just waiting to see if Zoo Warlock survives Shard Shatter Mystic. I don't like to be Dustbreakered as a Zoo Warlock, and Soul Demon Hunter is just going to Dustbreaker you a lot of the time, and this is why the card is likely to lower in actual rating. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm really happy to see that they reprinted Grim Rally.
Yep.
Right. Moving on, the next card is the Nameless One. Yes, that is actually the card name. The card name is literally the Nameless One. Yes, I'm not making this up. It's literally called the Nameless One, and it is a 4-mana priest legendary. It's a 4-mana 4/4, and its battle cry is to choose a minion, become a 4/4 copy of the minion, and then silence the minion. So it's choose a minion, so it's yours or your opponent's, and yeah, this one's yours, Taco.
Yeah, this is basically, oh wow, I blanked completely on the name of that card, the 4-mana Hall of Fame. It's been so long.
It's Spellbreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Spellbreaker.
This is just a better Spellbreaker.
This is a better Spellbreaker.
In every way. It steals the death rattle in addition to silencing it. If this was in any other class, I feel like this would be an easy 5 stars. But in Priest, it's really hard to see like the way that we imagine Priest to be.
Don't make me pick up my pitchfork again.
Because in a control priest deck, you don't really need a Dustbreaker, or not Dustbreaker, a Spellbreaker. Right? It's not something that you need. In that weird thing that Blizzard trying to push with the Silence Priest, where minions can't attack. Sure, you silence your own minion. This becomes a 4/4 copy of it that can't attack.
I have forgotten that deck even existed.
Yeah. It just doesn't fit anything that Priest tries to do. So I think in Priest, I just don't see it sees play. But I will agree, this is a very powerful card.
Yeah, this card is strong.
And
right?
I just need more information because let's say if this was in the meta today. Oh, sorry, this is a 2-star card.
2-star, okay.
Yeah, I just don't see it seen play.
No, I disagree. I have to disagree. I think this is a 5-star card actually, and that is a huge jump, right, from 2 to 5. So what I'm saying is this is going to see play in Priest. Period. And
so you think that if Priest is good, like if Control Priest is good.
Yes,
which
I think
it likely will be. This will be Control Priest.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So Priest, Control Priest, and just Priest in general, across history, Control Priests across history have really wanted to play something proactive in their decks that's also maybe has reactive prowess, and this is true of almost all of the legendaries they currently play. Which I'm just gonna take you over here instead of listing all of them. They've played. I mean, they really love to play. Karj right now because of Apotheosis and being able to have a sticky minion be Apotheosis. Karj. Lazul is played right now. It's a 3-mana 3/2. This is horrible tempo, but it's tempo that also generates you value, and they've also loved to play their 8-mana Dragon, Murazond, which is not only a huge tempo push, but also a very reactive play. So what I'm trying to get at is all 3 of these are either reactive or slow, but like Priest plays them because Priest is just has a very low amount of tempo minions, and they really are yearning for tempo reactive minions at the same time. Like Priest is even playing this 4-mana 2/4. Like this is understated as hell, but this is a huge tempo swing as well as a reactive card, right? So Priest just really loves these types of cards where like it's reactive, it has purpose in countering your opponent's stuff, and it's just good tempo. 4-mana 4/4 is like actually passable for Priest, and this is a Spellbreaker, and that has been Hall of Famed for a variety of reasons. But this like good silence is just solid, I think, and Priest should be running this if they can. I think.
So you think if Spellbreaker was a card, Priest would run it?
Well, this is not just a spellbreaker. Let's actually clarify. This is really not a spellbreaker, right?
But
because stealing the minion is also important too.
Well, you steal, but what are we stealing in this meta that's actually impactful?
Well, actually, it's not only stealing; it's also silencing, right? So we're killing Edwin. That's one thing.
Okay. Right, which would be a spellbreaker, and then you become a 4/4.
And you become a 4/4 Edwin, which is better.
Which is basically
spellbreaker. Right. True.
Yeah, but it's basically spellbreaker.
Maybe I'm a little too hyped for this one. Let's actually. Maybe I am a little too hyped for this one. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Priest would really love this.
I think stealing is only good if like there's a spell burst on the board that you want. You can steal. I don't know. I don't see anything in the meta that would happen, or a death rattle.
Oh, really cool. How would that work actually? If you're trying to steal or if you're trying to copy a spell burst minion that's already used their spell burst.
Oh, become a 4/4 copy. I think the spell burst would already be used, so then it would just be a copy of it.
Yeah, but
so
that's how that's how germination was. That's what we thought about germination too, right?
Right. Yeah. Actually, I don't know how that works.
Well, actually, if you make
germination is that's
no. Actually, I'm wrong. I'm just wrong. Because if you try to germinations like an Omu that has already used up its spell burst, you will not get an Omu. You will not get the full
right.
But if you germination an Omu that still has the spell burst intact, you will get the copy and then the spell burst triggers. So
right, because the spell burst triggers after the germination.
Yeah. So this is you're not going to get that spell burst effect on this. Maybe I'm a little too hyped for this, but I do think Priest really would want to run anything proactive at all right now. Priest is just so reactive right now, and it's so bad at putting stuff back on the board to counter the opponent.
But this doesn't put stuff back. It's a 4/4. Like you're still dying. if it's an aggro player, they're still killing you. There might be one fringe use, which I think is just too fringe to be good, and that's when you steal your opponent's apotheosis minion. So you get this. I don't know, but that's not even that impactful.
I think Here's what I'll say. At least I'll say if this doesn't see play now, it will definitely see play in its standard lifetime. Period.
I can see that. Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah,
like when cards and all the other current ones rotate out, like the current priest legendaries rotate out. This is gonna take their spots right away.
Probably, and then we also need some kind of tempo priest that actually cares about breaking things and
I'm
pushing
giving up
face.
on tempo priest. I'm giving up on that archetype. That is a dead archetype. Really interesting that you brought up silence priest, which is an archetype that Blizzard has apparently given up on as well.
Yeah. And it doesn't even help silence priest at all because
it's not
a little bit, right? It's like a 4-mana silence. It doesn't.
It's a 4-mana silence. Yeah, this is not happening. But I'm open to having my mind changed about this one in phase 2. You've probably already gotten me down to at least a 4 stars, but I'm gonna keep it at 5 for now.
Oh wait, this is ridiculous against Libram Paladin.
That is obscenely true.
Maybe.
But I mean, no, don't worry about it. Because the deck is already obscenely Priest is already really good against Libram Paladin because they can steal their Librams to start.
Yeah, but they have to have that situation. This is a 1-card thing that does what 2 cards does, and that thing relies on RNG, whereas this has no RNG.
I mean, that entire thing is what Priest is doing right now. I guess it's targeted.
It could. I don't know. But then it does that. Maybe I'll give it extra. I still think it's 2 stars. In phase.
Actually, now that you bring it up, it's 5 stars. No, I'm gonna back myself up after you bring up a point that backs up my point.
It's just one deck. It's one thing that they're already good against. We'll see.
It's just there's Edwin, there's Librams now that you mention it. We can let's actually think about it.
Sure.
What else? What are the other decks running right now? Why am I blanking?
Warrior.
Warrior. Nothing.
Warrior doesn't do anything against Warrior.
Right.
Doesn't really do against Soul Demon Hunter because they don't really play stuff on the board.
Yeah.
It does nothing against Face Hunter.
It does nothing. Well, no, it does. It silences the infestation or the Face Stalker or the Scavenger's Ingenuity. It does something.
Right, but then they still push Face and it doesn't solve any problem.
True, but they got to get rid of your thing.
They do have to get rid of everything because you can always Apo it, but they have ways of playing around Apotheosis. Warlock doesn't exist. Shaman doesn't really exist.
I mean, this is just something proactive you can do against Hunter that isn't absolute garbage. Because if you're stealing their 1/1s, it's much better if you just silence their other stuff and make
better than a Karj, right? Against Face Hunter, it's better than a Karj.
Yes, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Karj has a different thing. It's like very apotheosisable, so it's
Right.
different. But like this is just something that's better than it has to be better than at least something in that list. Like there's like something proactive is just something you want in priest that does something on the board rather than just kind of renew your face. Okay, never mind. Let's just move on. It's a little we need to see more, but I think this is a really strong card. Right. So next card is Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster is a rogue card. It's a 3-mana 4/3 with Death Rattle. Shuffle 3 tickets into your deck, and then draw them. And then when you draw them, summon a 3/3 plush bear. So this is just a callback to an old rogue. Oh wait, this is 1 star, by the way. I think this is 1 star. Let's start with that.
Oh wow.
And this is a callback to good old Faldora Strider, which was a 4-mana 4/4 rogue card, which shuffled shuffled 3 things into your deck, which when you drew them, summoned 4/4s instead of 3/3s. So it's not the stat line that that I'm giving 1 star to this. And yeah, Faldora Strider was insane in Rogue. Like when that was in Rogue, like that carried Rogue for quite a bit. And even though this is a callback, I think the main difference and the reason why I'm giving this 1 star is because it's a Death Rattle and not a Battle Cry of Faldora Strider. This comes out earlier, and I have to give it props for that. But there's a lot of reasons why Ticketmaster is just not good for current Rogue. And I actually have them listed right here in my notes. 1, it's not a Battle Cry, so you can't Shadow Step it like you did with Faldora Strider. 2, these are 3/3s, which is really, really bad in this meta because not only are Shard Shatter Mystics in this meta, Soul Shears are in this meta, but Druid just got printed Lunar Eclipse, which is a 2-mana deal 3. So this is gonna die. The Ticketmaster itself is gonna die. To those cards which are pretty frequently run. Not to mention Galakron Rogue has Seal Fate for this perfectly on curve. Another really bad thing that's really bad for this card. And these tickets are they are shuffled into your deck. So Secret Passage in Rogue is going to be drawing these, but not really. Secret Passage doesn't actually draw these cards. It just puts them in your hand. And you can see that if you ever try and go against a Soul Demon Hunter. If you ever shuffle soul Shards into your deck and you Secret Passage them, they don't actually play and draw you another card. You have to manually play them yourself. So this card is a 3-mana 3/3 when you draw it off Secret Passage, which is really bad. So it's anti-synergistic with almost all of what Rogue is doing right now. It's anti-synergistic with Shadow Step. It's easy to kill. The 3/3s that it summons are easy to mass board wipe from Soul Demon Hunter. It's just not a card that I can see seeing play right now. The only thing that this card has going for it is that people are already talking about Stowaway for Cthulhu Rogue, which I don't think is ever going to happen. And Stowaway just kind of synergizes with this as well. And like maybe a Ticketmaster plus Stowaway package might happen, but that is not it. I mean, that's a classic trap. Play a bad card in order to justify a card. That's not something I want to do. So yeah, 1 star.
I gave it 3 stars. I agree. This probably won't see play in what Rogue currently is, but I need more information because Death Rattle Rogue, might be a thing, and we don't know enough. There might be some crazy Death Rattle Rogue synergies. Blizzard and Pen has pushed that. We got that Epic 2/5 that got nerfed. I can't remember names. You know what I'm talking about, right, Dara?
The 2/5 that got nerfed.
The Apothecary.
The Apothecary. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's an archetype that, like, not that this is any synergy with Necronym Apothecary, but this is like something that Blizzard has pushed before, and I feel like they might push more in this expansion. So I just couldn't give it 1 star, even though I think that in the Modern Rogue, this is definitely a 1 star card. It's also bad in Galakron as well because you don't want your Galakron like getting those tickets. You don't want your Wondrous One getting those tickets. So it just, if that's what we have to play with, it's not a great card. But I think there might be something there. I also Faldora Strider was just such a good card. That effect is free is free. It's a 3/3. It's not a 4/4, but
what this card does is very strong. Actually, like I have to say, what this card does is very strong. But like it just doesn't match up with Faldora Strider from back in the day. It doesn't do that.
Definitely, yeah,
exactly. And that's why I have to give it like such a poor rating.
But I think being a death rattle might be a good thing. We don't know yet.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, I actually did just flash the Reddit reveal section, and we do only see 2 out of the 8 rogue cards. So I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. I just think that whatever death rattle rogue gets printed is probably not better than what we currently have. Like I cannot imagine they would have to print something absolutely ridiculous for death rattle rogue to see play over what we have currently. Yeah, 1 star for me. What you gave 3 stars, right?
3. Yep, 3 stars.
So you're actually
has potential.
You're kind of not even leaning. Yeah, you're not even 2 stars for this. You really think this has something, huh?
I think it has something, just because the effect is pretty powerful.
I did have it at 2 stars originally for like possibly a stowaway kind of thing, but I just don't think that's stowaway is not going to see play.
Also, I like the stat. I think you said it dies to a lot of things, but that's good. You want it to die. You want them to seal fate this. You don't. Yes. The worst thing about a death rattle is that it doesn't die.
Yes, but the thing is, you're letting your opponent do stuff that they wanted to do anyway. Like they need, like Soul Demon Hunter is looking to soul shear something. Like right. you like Seal Fate is looking to land on the target. Like it's actually hard to play Seal Fate as a Galakron rogue sometimes, and you're looking for a target. This is just a target for it, and yeah, it's just. But then the effect is
but
slow,
it's
right?
double-sided as well. It's very double-sided because like
true.
Yeah, the thing dies, but did the potential of getting those things in the future, like can they deal with it? And the answer is maybe they can, maybe they can't. Because if they're soul sharing this, or if they're playing the Duskbreaker Star Shatter Mystic on this, they're not Shard Shattering Mystic the bears, the plush bears that potentially come out at random times.
No, that's what I was saying. I was saying they'll Shard Shatter the plush bears.
Okay, then yeah, that's a fair point.
It's just not a good, like this card when you match it up against Shard Shatter Mystic is just not something you want to see. It's just I'm a little locked in on current rogue and current like meta stuff, but like I just really don't see this being much better without any death rattle support, which we're gonna need to see for this to even see play, in my opinion.
Yeah, it easily could be a 1-star card, but I need to see more.
All right, let's move on. All right, so this is Carousel Griffin. This is Taco's choice of the set. He has probably something interesting to say about this, but let me introduce the card first. It's a 5 mana. It is a Paladin card, and it is the Paladin Corrupt card. So at base, this card is a 5 mana, 5/5 with Divine Shield. It's a mech as well, which is relevant for my arguments, but its corrupt effect is to gain +3/+3 as well as taunt. So when this is corrupted, it's a 5 mana 8/8 with taunt Divine Shield. Yeah, take it.
Yeah, I like cards that are very interesting in like a non-legendary way. So I try not to choose legendaries. I try to choose something that's like kind of like interesting in a way that's maybe it's not obvious at first. So Carousel Griffin, just straight for what it is, at the moment I don't know if it's going to be good. I'm giving it 3 stars. As a mech, N'Zoth is a thing. 5 mana 5/5 with Divine Shield, like that's pretty solid. I mean we've had a 5 mana 5/4 neutral Divine Shield. Dalaran Crusader, 5 mana 5/4.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a better Dalaran Crusader. Is Dalaran Crusader good? No, but in a vacuum, it's okay. But the reason I really like this card is because I think this is exactly how corrupt cards should work. The base body has to be good in order for the corrupt to even be considered, and especially in Paladin right now, because like yesterday we had that 6-star card or that 5-star card, the 6 mana 6/6 weapon. Like this, just like it's like the perfect card to corrupt this, because you play that, the Hammer of the Naru, you get your stuff, and you play an even bigger taunt. You play a 5 mana 8/8, get 3 mana, do whatever you want. There's some potential there, but at its base, like I really need to see more about corrupt and also like about Paladin. But I really like this card a lot, and I hope like the corrupt cards are designed in this way where there is the choice that if I played it at its base value, it's not a terrible thing to do. So yeah, 3 stars. Yeah,
this is a pretty strong card. Actually, I gave it 4 stars. I think I agree with totally everything you said. This is a really strong at base form card that you could just kind of not really cry if you just kind of play it as is. But what I'm really focused on, and why I give it a star more than you, is I'm really focused on the corrupt form, and it is a 5 mana 8/8 taunt Divine Shield, and we currently do have that in Paladin with Libram of Hope. Libram of Hope comes actually with an 8 heal to whatever you choose. I priced that heal at roughly 1 mana when I was evaluating it, and so this corrupt so Libram of Hope is actually an 8 mana card in my head if you know take away the heal, but there's also Libram synergy, so it could get discounted. So like that the fact that it says Libram on Libram of Hope, I would price at another 1 mana. So really, it's a 7 mana card to me. A 7 mana heal 8, a 7 mana 8 taunt divine shield sounds like more reasonable, right? So I think that when this is corrupted, it's actually so underpriced. At 5 mana, it should have been 7 mana, right? Is what I was trying to get across. So and it's so easy to corrupt. Yeah, you mentioned the Hammer of the Naru. We could talk about Libram of Hope again. We can talk about like Liadrin, which is like currently being run a bunch. So it's very easy to corrupt, and it's stuff that Paladin like already is playing or might be looking to play. And like this is just another one of the taunt walls that Paladin can put up right now, which is insane. Like because Paladin currently is just looking like it's gonna just keep playing taunts and divine shield taunts and taunts and divine shield taunts until like you just run out of stuff, or until they can put N'Zoth in play, which is what I really want to talk about with this card. The fact that it's a mech. Yesterday we were talking about the elemental that came from the Hammer of the Naru, and we were trying to find a good mech to play along with the rest of the tribe, so that N'Zoth could resurrect them. And we were kind of stuck on Shielded Minibot as the best mech to play. But this is really just a crazy powerful mech that we can play instead.
This is literally 4 shielded minibots.
This is 4 shielded minibots, yeah, with with taunt as well. So, like that's
yep.
insane. And so like I'm really looking toward this N'Zoth Paladin now. I really think N'Zoth itself has actually jumped in value quite a bit now that Paladin has a passable mech. Like actually no, not even passable. This is a good mech. Like I'm going to say it right now, this is a good mech.
This is a great mech.
Great elemental. It has MurGurgle for the Murloc. And we can even think about running Fleethoof Pearltusk as the beast. Like it's going to summon a lot of good stuff. That board that you're going to summon with N'Zoth is going to be really good. I mean, look at this is a 5 mana 8/8. Like this is going to actually pressure your opponent as well. So I'm really looking toward this mid range Paladin idea, not pure mid range Paladin with N'Zoth as a finisher, as a big board dump at the end. And I think that could be a very viable deck.
Yeah, I couldn't give it anything higher because I think that at the moment the only thing that's consistently going to corrupt this is Hammer of the Naru. Because the Libram cards, they could easily be like less than 5 mana because you're constantly discounting them. So this probably won't go in Libram Paladin. Yeah. There's probably some Paladin thing that they're going to push. We'll see what it is. But like more 6+ mana cards that are good in Paladin, or maybe just neutrals that are good in general, could easily make this like a 4 or 5 star.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm really excited for this card though.
See? That's why I chose it.
Yeah, good choice. Card is Balloon Merchant. It is a Paladin card. It is a 4 mana 3/5 with Battle Cry. Give your Silverhand recruits +1 attack and Divine Shield. And I think this card is 5 stars, honestly. This is a really strong card. Giving all your Silverhand crews +1 attack, as well as Divine Shield, is actually where I think this card shines and starts becoming a 5-star card, the and Divine Shield part. And we did review a card earlier in this series called Day at the Fair, which is this 3 mana Paladin card, the corrupt 3 mana Paladin card, which is right here, which we said was really bad as a card. You actually gave it 1 star, if I remember right, Taco.
Probably.
This is starting. Yeah, I gave it 2 stars, and now this is starting to look like a 4 or a 5-star card suddenly, because we got this Silverhand recruit synergy that I was really hoping they would print. And the reason why I think this is a 5-star card actually is because I really think that Paladin and pure Paladin, or whatever kind of Paladin that's trying to stabilize their early game, can easily go with an Air Raid, Day at the Fair, and Balloon Merchant small synergy package. And this is like I think this makes Paladin super good at just defeating aggro consistently. Because if you just play Day at the Fair on 3, you are threatening to Balloon Merchant them on 4, and Balloon Merchant is gonna give +3 attack and Divine Shield to all of these Silverhand recruits, all 3 of them, which is not much, but it is a threat. And so like aggro decks are going to have to figure out whether they want to trade into your Divine Shield. I mean, trade into your little 1/1s softening up their board for a possible consecration, or whether they want to leave it up and then you just punish them with Blue Merchant. And this is something I really enjoy talking about. Like, how do you turn tokens into punishing threats? And we just talked about it with Wicked Whispers in ZILLIAX. And I think this is just the exact same thing, but in Paladin now. And so this gets 5 stars for me.
Yeah, I think this is a 2-star card.
Oh,
well,
man.
first, we've
That's
seen this card before, or a similar card like this before. Light Fuse Stegodon, which is from Ungoro. It's basically 1 less stat, 1 less defense. It has a beast tag, and instead of giving Silverhand recruits +1 attack and Divine Shield, it adapts those minions, which on average is probably worse than this card. So this card is just strictly better than Light Forged Stegodon.
Light Fuse Stegodon. I think you're right. It's Light Fuse.
Right. So the thing about Light Fuse Stegodon was that, like, despite adapt, there just wasn't consistent ways at that time to get Silverhand recruits on the board. We have those today with Air Raid and the previous card, Day at the Faire.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's enough to, like, justify playing this, which at its face value is, like, it does nothing if you don't have that early game payoff. And given the tools that Paladin has, there's just so much better things that Paladin can do than, like, play something like this. Maybe one more card will change my mind. Like, this is strictly better than Light Fuse Stegodon.
Yeah,
I'm not ruling it out, but 2 stars.
I think also, like, another card would really like solidify this whole little dude paladin idea that we're getting. I think it could be Righteous Cause that we're looking at, but for like a serious dude paladin, like only dude paladin deck. But I think more than actually just being a full blown dude paladin deck, I really think that this deck is going to just be. I mean, these cards are just going to be a small package within pure paladin, looking to or whatever paladin, not just pure, right? It's just going to be a small package for whatever paladin wants to cement the early game, so that they can get to their mid game power cards like Carousel Griffin, that we reviewed just earlier this episode. That would be this one. Well, actually, just last card. And as well as their other one, which is the Hammer of the Naru. As long as they can get to these, they just completely shut aggro down. So I'm really excited to see how this goes.
Yeah, but in pure Paladin, like at that 4 mana slot, there's just better stuff they can run. It's not. I don't think it's a problem right now. We can look at the cards. I'm looking at them right now. I don't think that's a problem they have. They have a Lightforged Zealot. Is that it? At the 4 mana slot, I think it's just Lightforged Zealot.
It's Allura.
Consecration, if they want to play that type of game, which isn't terrible. I think Paladin curves well from 1 to 4. I don't think it needs this extra thing.
If we're talking about cuts, we have easy cuts. Braggart has been really 2 win more for this deck. Like something like Braggart should be cut. The authorities could possibly be cut. We can look towards cutting like something like Devout Pupil, maybe the Lightforged Crusader, get into more of the Hammer Carousel Griffin idea. I think this looks like a really good makeover for pure Paladin. These are definitely some strong cards that they should be considering at least. Maybe we just get the same list over again, but yeah, I'm pretty hopeful that we see some more pure Paladin. But since we're talking about pure Paladin, let's move over to the next card, not this one. Whoops, I forgot that this website worked this way. So let's move over to this one. High Exarch Ural. High Exarch Ural is an 8 mana Paladin legendary. It's an 8 mana 7/5 with Battlecry. If your deck has no neutral cards, gain Rush, Lifesteal, Taunt, and Divine Shield.
Yeah, this is this is obviously 5 stars. There's no way I think that Paladin won't play this in some way or form. This is just like this is stats of Shrivala the Tiger, right? And it comes out on turn 8, guaranteed. Shrivala also had at OTK, but whatever. Like, if you could consistently summon Shrivala, like, you just win the game. You just don't die. I won't say you win the game. You just don't die. And yeah, like, we had ZILLIAX in the past. I don't know like anything interesting to say about this card besides that. Yeah, it's pretty good.
No, yeah, I totally agree. Like, Shrivala just sometimes just auto wins you the game versus aggro. They just cannot deal with something that heals 7, and then they have to also not attack into it because it could heal for another 7 and maybe another 7. So yeah, this is just clearly just one of the, like, this is a clear 5-star card, to be honest. This is ZILLIAX. I actually don't think ZILLIAX is the perfect comparison for this card. I actually think this is actually a Libram of Hope with Rush in my eyes.
Yep.
And the reason for that is obviously when it hits in for 7, it's going to heal you for 7 as well. But it's also a 7/5 body left over with Taunt. and more lifesteal. So this is really just a really weird Libram of Hope, and that's great because Paladin, pure Paladin, any Paladin actually right now really loves Libram of Hope and using it in some way, shape, or form. This card is going to be really, really strong in the next expansion, and I actually can see potentially Libram Paladin considering this as well, maybe cycling through their deck fast enough through all the neutrals and just kind of putting this in their deck for after they've cycled through all their neutrals. And yeah, I mean, this is a Shivala, right? So we said that already. So pure Paladin, Libram Paladin, any Paladin in the future will be thinking of this card. Maybe they should include it. Maybe they shouldn't. Yeah, it's clear 5 stars.
5 stars.
All right. That was easy. Moving on to the next card. This one is not as easy. This is Rigged Faire Game. This is a 3-mana Mage Secret. 3 mana for the secret is if you didn't take any damage during your opponent's turn, you draw 3 cards. And I currently have this rated at 3 stars. I'm a little hopeful for it, but okay. I want to see what they can do. The first comparison I wanted to make right away was to a card that saw absolutely no play, and that would be Paladin's Sanctuary side quest, which I'm gonna pull up right. It's 2 mana, right? So Sanctuary was 2 mana. And the side quest was to take no damage for a turn, and you summon a 3/6 with Taunt. This seemed insane when it got first released, but then we realized how easy it is to just keep damaging Paladin's face every single turn, right? Even with just 1 damage. But the thing is, this is played face up. Like your opponent knows they have to damage you for a turn. Like they know they have to do it, or else they're going to get punished by this 3/6. But the difference with Rigged Faire Game is that they don't know, and Mage Secrets are very strong in the variety that they in the variety of ways they punish you. Like every time a Mage Secret comes down, the first thing that you should think about as a player is it Counterspell, and then the next thing is it Flame Ward, right? And the way you play around those secrets is so different. Or is it Mirror Entity, right? So like it's very different how you play around all of those, and this is going to force a lot of mind games, especially when we review the next card, which I'll bring up later. If you can't proc this, the next card is called. Actually, no, I can bring it up right now. It's called Occult Conjurer, and this is a 4-mana 8/8. We'll talk about it later. But if you can't proc this, there's a 4-mana 8/8 coming next turn, possibly for Mage. And so I'm willing to see where this goes. I actually don't think a full-blown Secret Mage will work, but I think this could be a mini package in either Highlander or Cyclo Mage. Even potentially could consider these cards.
Yeah, I think this is a 1-star card.
You think it sees absolutely no play or consideration?
I think it actually sees play, but not because you put it in your deck.
Then it sees no play.
I'll put it that way.
So it sees no
play.
Sure.
Right. But you will discover this. You probably will discover this at some point and play it. But yeah, the reason I think it sees no play is because for 3 mana, you're giving up tempo. And then you don't even get the cards, right? Like your opponent kind of controls when you get those cards. Right? If they choose to. And let's say that even if they decided not to play around it because they were scared of something else and they didn't damage you in the face, you draw those 3 cards at a delayed time anyway. So it's like Arcane Intellect. It's about as good as Arcane Intellect, whether or not it goes off. It's actually a secret that, for the most part, we have this card already in Rogue, Dirty Tricks. Like when your opponent procs Dirty Tricks, you're not too sad about it. You're kind of relieved. You're like, okay, that could have been worse. But Dirty Tricks is 2 mana and it fits, like a secret thing that Rogue already has. Whereas this at 3 mana, I just don't see it doing anything.
Rogue has a lot better payoffs, is really what it is. And their secrets are just generally their secrets are cheaper. And Mage's secrets. And this is a problem with Secret Mage just across all of history. It was never really good until it got a way to not only cheat out the secrets but also punish you for not triggering those secrets. And I'm referring to the Secret Mage of Mean Streets of Gadgetzan, where they had things like Cabal Lackey, which cheated out of Secret for full, as well as Kieran Tormage, which cheated out the Secret for full. And then they also had, they didn't really punish you for not triggering the secret. They also had Cabal Crystal Runner, which would just come out as a 0-mana 5/5 if you played enough secrets. And they also had Arcanologist, which is an insane card. It just drew a secret. And Mage just doesn't have the card draw to sustain that. Like we look at Ancient Mysteries, and it's kind of like an Arcanologist Archaeologist, but not quite. And like, yeah, you're right. It's not looking really good for a secret dedicated mage. But we do have cool board control tools like Arcane Flak Mage right here, which does solidify some early game for mage as with secrets, and that's why that's the only reason I think that secret mage would ever see play. Some kind of Flak Mage, Flame Ward, esque like idea with maybe like Counterspell 1 or Flame Ward 1 or something like that. I'm not really hopeful for this card completely. I was very close to giving it 2 stars. I gave it 3 only because of the next card, which we're going to scroll over to right now. Occult Conjurer is a 4-mana 4/4 mage minion. For 4 mana, it's a 4-mana 4/4 and Battlecry. If you control a secret, you summon a copy of this. So yeah, this is the 4-mana 8/8 I was talking about. So yeah, take this first.
Yeah, so at face value, I felt like this just seemed bad. Because Faceless Corruptor is a 5-mana 4/4 and they have Rush. So for 1 extra mana, you're getting like something a little bit easier to trigger, but you're kind of giving up some tempo at the time, although that tempo may or may not matter, depending on what deck you're playing. So yeah, I think this is a 2-star card, because like a 4-mana 8/8 is really good. At first I was giving it 1 stars, but the reason I went to 2 stars because I looked at Kirin Tor Mage and how this curved like perfectly into Kirin Tor Mage. The problem with Secret Mage is that if this is good in Secret Mage, is that this is a tempo-heavy deck that, like, if this is good, right? You're playing Tempo Mage as a tempo-heavy deck that capitalizes on the 4-mana 4/4s or the 4-mana 8/8 to go face and, like, close out games. But none of the secrets really do that. Like, we're missing, what is that? Flame Rune, right? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Explosive Runes.
Explosive Rune. Yeah. We're missing Explosive Rune. We're missing stuff like that keeps your opponent off the board and does damage to face.
Yeah, that's the other thing that Mage is missing right now. Secret Mage is all. So yeah, last episode we were talking about how Secret Mage, Mage was missing secrets. When we were talking about Ring Toss, we were talking about how Mage was missing secrets that generated tempo in some way. And yeah, exactly what you just talked about. Mage still doesn't have those ways to generate tempo in the form of secrets. So yeah, I'm not seeing a dedicated. Yeah, that's why I'm saying I'm not seeing a dedicated tempo Mage with secrets involved. Wait, what did you just say? Do you have anything more?
No, no. 2-star card potential.
Yeah, I've actually got this one at 4 stars, and I have it this high because I recognize the power of this card and how it punishes people for not triggering your secrets. And yeah, again, this is just something I'm really stuck on. Like, we need to punish people for not playing how we want them to, right? We have to punish our opponents for not playing how we want them to. If they think about delaying my secret, I need to be able to say, no, you can't do that. And this is how I would say that. This is how I would say, no, you cannot delay my rigged Faire game. You can't delay that. I need my 3 cards right now, or I'm going to hit you with a 4-mana 8/8.
Yep.
And that's why I'm waiting. I'm very hopeful for a tempo secret to be revealed. And when it does, I'm very interested in this package. But until then, I'm waiting.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is just one good tempo secret away from being a pretty decent card.
They print Explosive Runes right now, and this is instantly going in every then instantly Secret Mage is made, and then we're putting this in a deck. We're putting Explosive Runes in a deck. We're putting everything that says secret in a deck, and it's going to do well, I think. Yeah. Secret Mage right now, actually, I have it pulled up in Hearthstone. It is very close. There's a lot of very strong stuff to close out the game, like Cloud Prince, Fireballs, Netherwind Portal is a great secret. We just talked about this the other day. Like, we are so close. And Jandis, of course, really good curve topper, just hammers in, just strong tempo. So yeah, I'm really happy to see this card being released, and I'm hopeful there's another secret in the works. But yeah, until then, let's move on to the next card. Anything else to add, by the way, before I move on?
Yeah, actually, it's really interesting that if Occult Conjurer is good, it actually makes the previous card a lot better, because one of the problems that Secret Mage had was, like, running out of steam. And being able to draw those 3 cards, like, all of a sudden, like, get into your Fireballs. Like, before, right, and Secret Mage would play the Lunith. This is a really, really poor man's Lunith, but it still can get you to lethal. So
poor man's Lunith is a very big compliment. You know that, right?
It's a homeless man's Lunith.
Yeah, that's a really good thing. Yeah. These 2 cards I really think are really synergistic. They really punish each other. They will live
and die together.
Yeah, they will live and die together, I think. I think that the thing is, if they leave this up, then this is going to be, if they leave this card up, then you're going to hit them with the Occult Conjurer, right? And then they have to deal with this 4 mana 8/8, and they, I mean, hopefully they don't have enough mana to hit you in the face, and then they, you just get 3 cards suddenly. That's great.
Yep.
But yeah, let's move on to the next card, which is the Rogue Legendary. One of the 2 Rogue Legendaries. It is Grand Empress Shekzara. All right, that's an interesting name. It's a 6 mana 5/7 Rogue Legendary with Battlecry. Discover a card in your deck and draw all copies of it. Now, I'm going to keep this one short. I think this is just a certified 1-star card for Rogue. There's much better stuff that Rogue can be doing for 6 mana, and I do not believe in this Shuffle Rogue.
Okay. Yeah, I disagree. I think this is a 3-star card. And at first I didn't like it, but then I thought about it, and Big Ol' Whelp is a 5 mana 5/5 that draws a card. This is a 6 mana 5/7, so the stat distribution is about a 6 mana 6/6 if you move the defense over. So it's basically a better Big Ol' Whelp. And Big Ol' Whelp is probably about a 3-star card, so I figured this is the same. Of course, the effect is obviously better since you get to choose the answer that you want rather than just drawing something off the top. And potentially you could get 2 cards. This will probably, I think this will probably see play sometime in Rogue's Rogue's lifespan. I don't think it belongs.
Lifespan is what you meant, right? So you think this will see play at some time during its standard lifetime,
right? In some turn in standard. I don't think it's going to happen. Might not happen right now unless some weird tempo Rogue thing gets pushed, which Blizzard looks like it's kind of doing with the previous card that we saw in this episode, the 3 mana 4/3 Ticketmaster.
That would be this guy down here. Yeah, I see that.
This has an obvious synergy, but this also has that same theme of like being on the board, going face, maintaining tempo, a very mid-ranges theme. It could be something. I think 3 stars.
Yeah, I've got both these guys at 1 star, so I'm really not hopeful for this Rogue thing. I just think Galakron Rogue it just does so much better, and Miracle Rogue does so much better in terms of just putting stuff on the board, generating resources at the same time. Big Ol' Whelp is something you mentioned, and I want to remind everyone that Big Ol' Whelp actually saw absolutely no play in this expansion. 0 at all, I believe.
In this expansion, yes, but in Descent of Dragons with Dragon Hunter, it did. It was just some kind of solid bridge card.
It did also see play with Highlander Hunter in Ashes of Outland, but like this is like that's true. But that's like those are classes which have dragon synergies that are very strong, and I just don't think Rogue has the space to put in this 6 mana 5/7. I just name a few. I think I like Kronks is a 6 mana card that's being played. Togwaggle is a 6 mana card that's being played. We can just scroll over to Rogue real quick, actually, instead of me just listing them off the top of my head, so I don't have to edit that in. But yeah, like these 3 right here, Flick, Togwaggle, and the Kronks that I will pull up if the Kronks that's over here. Yeah, these are the 3 cards that Rogue is playing right now at 6 mana, and the Miracle Rogue list doesn't even run 6 mana cards. I think they top off at Jandis. So
yep.
I just don't. Yeah, again, I don't think Rogue has space for this.
Maybe Miracle Rogue might consider it.
It's just a bunch of 3/3s. It's nothing that isn't just like completely wiped by Char Shatter.
I think this is a card that I think it's better than what it is, like once people start playing it. Because I really thought about like how I would feel if this thing came online, and
I could possibly buy stock in maybe this card seeing play later on in this card's lifespan, but I just can't see it in the next expansion. Right. Yeah, this is a 1 star for me. How much did you say? You said 3?
3. Yep.
Oh, you're really hopeful for this. Wow. Okay. Right. Okay. Next card. Tent Thrasher. This is a 5 mana warrior card. It is a 5 mana 5/5 dragon. There's that important tribe tag that we are looking for in warrior for Menagerie, and it's a rush. It's a rusher. It's a 5 mana 5/5 rush, and it costs 1 less for each friendly minion with a unique minion type. This one's yours, Taco.
Yep. Yeah. I was just looking up that previous card. So being a dragon actually is absolutely important because it gets tutored by Ringmaster Watley. Mm-hmm. I think this is probably, unfortunately, a 2-star card because, well, first, I don't think Menagerie Warrior will work because it just seems weird. Especially this payoff is like not just having Menagerie in your deck, but also like being able to get those things on the board.
Yeah.
And it's just the worst Blood Broil Brute. And
Yes.
which
Oh,
is
totally agree. Totally agree. I'm
yeah,
glad you have this at 2 stars as well, because a lot of the other people in Discord are actually really really happy with this and thought it was really really strong. I just think it's a 2 star card. There's so many
yeah.
there's so many problems with it. I think. And the first one is that it is just a downgraded Blood Boil Brute. The second one is that it is a dragon, which is competing with tutoring Deathwing. And yes, this
Which
has
might be
rush.
a good thing. Like if it's tutoring with Deathwing, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing because like you don't always want Deathwing. Sometimes you want
Oh,
something you can play earlier.
the,
But I don't think that changes my assessment. The assessment is just that like this is just so awkward to play. Like
yeah,
is a
this
five
is
mana 5/5 rush good? Not really. Is a 4 mana 5/5 rush good? Not really. Is
yes,
a 3 mana
actually.
5/5 good?
4 mana is my breakpoint. Actually, I think for this being good.
For this in
Yes.
Warrior when they can do better things with athletic
Think
studies?
about the Nightshade Matron from Warlock. Right. This is the 4 mana 5/5 rush that I'm about to pull up on the screen. Nightshade Matron, 4 mana 5/5 rush from Warlock. This sometimes drew you
Right.
3 cards. Sometimes it discarded like a card that you kind of wanted to keep.
Yep.
But this is 4 mana 3 mana 5/5 is actually where this card is actually really really strong. But I think it's really just a problem with just being worse than Blood Boil Brute and also competing with Deathwing for a slot. Deathwing, I think it's very important that it's competing with Deathwing because when you play the N'Zoth warrior, when you play N'Zoth as a warrior, you kind of want to threaten lethal, and Deathwing is super super good at threatening lethal. And between the menagerie types that they're trying to push for warrior, which is a mech dragon and a pirate, there's no mech that threatens lethal. And there's no pirate that threatens lethal in Warrior. The pirate is
No.
probably Risky Skipper. So I really want this dragon slot to threaten lethal, and that is Deathwing and not Tent Thrasher.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I just want to get back about 4 mana 5/5. Like it's not good stat line, but the Nitron Matron just like sometimes it draws you 3 cards.
Yeah.
Like if it never drew you 3 cards, it's just really average. Like this card will see play. I bet you this card will see play, but it's not because you put in your deck. It's because you put athletic studies in your deck, and you're like, wow, this just happens to be good in that situation.
Mhm.
Other than that, probably not something.
So yeah, before we wrap up, let's talk about this is the end of phase 1, by the way. This is the 3rd episode, and so the next episode we're going to be introducing the phase 2 system. Again, I'll put a link in the description, and I'll link it to the phase 2 description that I had prepared. And I'll even reintroduce it in the next episode before we actually review the cards. We'll talk about it, but generally it's just we have to start defining tiers for what we think the new decks will be. So, for example, something I think right now is that the N'Zoth Paladin currently looks like a tier 2 deck in my eyes. So we're going to be rating based on what, like, if this card will be a N'Zoth Paladin number 1, and then will it make it stronger? Will it make it tier 1 perhaps? And then stuff like that. So the more stars you are, the higher tier you are perceived to be, is what phase 2 essentially is. So yeah, let's talk about before we go, Taco, let's talk about what class do you think is currently leading in terms of power level?
Well, I mean, we have this one class that just got like 2 5-star, like consensus 5-star cards.
Yeah,
And that's
Ural
Paladin.
and like the hammer, and so like it's
And
clearly
hammer.
Paladin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally
They're
agree with
ahead
that.
by a lot.
They're ahead by a lot currently, but they also have more of their cards revealed. I'm gonna pull up this Reddit thing, so we can just quickly scroll through how many cards have been revealed for each class. Demon Hunter's got 2, 4, 6 cards revealed. Druid's got only 3, 4 cards revealed. Hunter's got 4 cards revealed. Mage is 3. Paladin has 5 cards revealed. They're currently leading with the most number of cards revealed. Priest 2, Rogue 3, Shaman's 1 card. I'm very curious what Shaman's got hidden. Warlock's got 2 cards. Warrior's got 4, and they're looking pretty solid too. So there's what do you think is number 2?
Solid?
I think so.
It's okay. We'll get back to that. Number 2. Wow, I actually don't know. What have we seen? Maybe Demon Hunter. I mean, those cards in a vacuum aren't terrible.
Yeah, that's true.
I just don't think they fit anywhere at the moment.
think
Druid also could be number 2 because it just got 2 cards that I think are 5-star cards: Lunar Eclipse and Solar Eclipse.
These are supporting pieces more than they are really exciting pieces, but they are both commons. So I need to see what Druid has. I'm not convinced that these are really good at supporting what Druid currently does, but they're not really good at augmenting Druid's power level further.
Mm-hmm.
I actually really do think the N'Zoth Warrior stuff, or like the Menagerie-ish Warrior, the mid-range Warrior stuff that's being released is pretty good. I think Warrior's number 2, but I could see a definite case being made for Demon Hunter as number 2 with like Il'gynoth, Stilt Stepper. You don't
Stilt
like,
Stepper?
but I
Well,
think I think the aggro Demon Hunter thing is pretty.
I like it. I just don't think it will be played.
Yeah, and I think Druid. Yeah, Druid's got to be number 3 for me.
Yep.
Or actually Hunter with their new Spellstone has got to be number 3.
Oh, I'm
To
not
me.
high on that.
I know you're not high.
But
Whatever.
maybe, like, if Blizzard keeps pushing things that makes Face Hunter not playable, that could easily change. Like, if I see more hunt, more healing, more taunts.
Yeah, which I think we'll get. I think I agree.
Then Petting Zoo is the future of Hunter, if that is the case.
Yeah,
but at the moment, I don't think it is.
Really awesome for Hunter. I think Hunter will also get another secret, so let's see how good that secret is. But yeah, until then, we'll see you next time.
All right. See y'all next time.